Hello, everybody, and welcome to my new podcast, Klassik ist Geil. I am the Dark Tenor, and I'm very happy you're in for this first episode. My thing is take a famous classical tune, write lyrics, and glue it all together with my own melodies born in pop and rock. I am stepping up to show you the cool side of classical music. Mozart, Beethoven and Bach were the poppers, punkers, and rockers of their own time. For the first 4 episodes, I met the musicians of my band Backstage and asked them about their personal experiences with me on tour and how they swing between classical music, rock, pop, metal, and the German genre Schlager. But I'll tell you more about that later. For all of you who don't know me, here's some things you should know about me, the Dark Tenor. My life has been all about classical music. 8 years Dresdner Kreuzchor and 2 years in the extra choir of the Semper Opera in Dresden set me up with some nice classical training. But at some point I had this total overflow of classical music and thought something else must exist out there. As a teenager, I had already made friends with the bass guitar and later the electric guitar. I saw so many parallels in rock bands and I loved the classical masterworks by, for example, Beethoven and Bach. But why do Green Day and Metallica, for instance, seem cooler than classical masterminds? A new idea was born. Together with my German producer Bernd Wendland and additional songwriters, I developed a way how classical music could be given a slight image change. Smetana's Moldau became one of the first tracks to convert into a new classical experience. Again, I added new melodies, lyrics, and a song structure you'd recognize from mainstream pop and rock songwriting. But I didn't want to stop at older music. Jeruma's River Flows in You had been a huge success with the Twilight trilogy. As far as I'm concerned, new classical music finds a huge home in movies or even games. Their melodies may even become known worldwide. Jeruma agreed to record his famous piano piece, creating a brand new song, River Flows on the Edge, new classical music. Even though we all love music, it's just not enough, right? What about that live experience? Isn't that where the magic happens? I didn't want to be that next tattooed tenor trying to change something being cool. I wanted the live show to be a one-of-a-kind experience for everyone. Remembering my opera life, I knew I wanted to stage something spectacular. With a designer, I developed a metal mask to wear, and suddenly, adding a hood, I looked like Assassin's Creed. That worked for me, and off we went through forests, across lakes, at the break of dawn. It was a great experience. For the second album, Nightfall Symphony, I learned to ride a horse and made some crazy videos in Iceland. It was an incredibly impressive journey. But all this was topped. My third album, Symphony of Ghosts, took me on a trip to Namibia, where we shot all videos for this new work. 6 days and 3,600 kilometers in jeeps. But Symphony of Ghosts would also mean a huge change in my personal life. I unmasked the persona, the Dark Tenor. This new album really sums up these last 4 years. I decided to meet some of those ghosts I knew were always there, but never had the courage to speak to. I did not only unmask the artists, but also released a lot of what have happened in my personal life in the last 4 years. On the Symphony of Ghosts tour, 2019, the mask from the very first videos made its stage debut. It became clear again how hard it really was to eat and drink with this mask. This year, my debut album, Symphony of Light, will turn 5 years old. Man, how time flies. Meanwhile, my TDT family has grown big and the concert halls have grown larger. Thank you everyone for being by my side on this incredible journey. So here's my motto. Klassik ist geil. In my podcasts, my guests are artists, educators, musicians, or politicians. I would like to take a closer look at the great composers, classical music, and music from all genres. Take a look behind the scenes. Was Mozart only divine, or even a gambler and poor all his life, as he enjoyed everything to the fullest? Why did Beethoven deny that he wrote the Moonlight Sonata out of a romantic feeling for a woman, just to dedicate the piece to a piano student he knew? Questions, questions, questions. Let's take a look from the other side of classical music. Some podcasts will be in English, others in German. Do not forget to subscribe, write a review, and tell me about guests you'd like to hear. Stay tuned for more to come. Greetings from the dark side of classical music.